When you think about changing your life, a lot of times we get this image of like this dude shirtless in the gym with the rope thing, somebody like Zen reading a book with books all around them and headphones on. We think of challenges like going monk mode or 75 hard or all these things that are popular and trendy. But I've had days where my life has literally shifted from one day to the next just by implementing some not super hard habits. So today I wanted to share 5 habits that can literally change your life within a day that are not actually all that hard to implement.
If you're anything like me and probably most of humanity, then you have a lot of stuff you gotta do, and it seems like the important things never really get done. So I've been using this rule or habit or idea called the Eisenhower matrix or the Eisenhower rule that really helps me get the important stuff done and actually not do a lot of things, which is I think even more important. So how this works is you kind of take all your tasks that you have to do and you can kind of organize them into these 4 separate quadrants. Whether you do this in your head or you just write it out, doesn't really matter. It depends on what works best for you. You have this first quadrant, which is for urgent tasks that are really important and you should absolutely do first. These are for things that absolutely need to get done if you want to like progress your life, move forward in your career, any of that type of stuff. Then there's the second box, which is for scheduling things. These aren't things that you absolutely need to do right now, but they're pretty important and you need to get them done eventually. So you don't do them right away because they're not as important and you put them on the calendar. This can be anything from like a schedule to actually go to the gym to whatever the next steps are for you and your business. Then there's this third quadrant, delegate, which is something most of us have a really hard time with doing. So these are important things that need to get done, but they're not as important as the other two. And maybe you can spend your time better. So this is something that I've been really practicing over the past couple of years after reading the 4-Hour Workweek, is trying to find things in my life or in my business especially that I can delegate to somebody else to buy back some of my life. The fourth box is you put everything in when you're like looking at your overall life that you don't want to do anymore, that aren't adding things to your life. So if you're spending a lot of time maybe on social media, if it lands in that box where you don't want to do it right away, you don't want to put it on a schedule, you can't have somebody else do it, and it's not adding anything to your life, then it goes in this box and you get rid of it. This is often the thing that keeps you from getting all the important stuff done. You know you have something important to do, but instead you're playing a game on your phone, you're answering emails too many times, you're doing whatever it is that is not all that important, but it's keeping you from success. Everything that you're doing should fit into one of these boxes, and if it's in here, it's gotta go. If you wanna do one thing that will make tomorrow better, try doing a digital detox. This right here is probably what is holding the most amount of people back from doing what they wanna do, from being more productive, from being more happy, from just getting stuff done, starting that business, whatever it is. This is generally the problem. You can take this as extreme as you want to, from literally putting your phone into a cookie jar to setting timers for how much time you're allowed on different apps. There's a few apps that I've been trying out that actually block you from using things like Instagram or whatever after you've used your 37 minutes or whatever you pick. You literally can't get into them anymore. So if you have a problem with spending too much time, like just wasting on your phone, this can be a really cool idea. You can also create phone-free zones. So like when you're in your office, when you're in your bedroom or your kitchen, your phone is not allowed in that space. Maybe it has a charger or somewhere where it goes, a drawer where you can put it in and then have time to not be distracted, to not be scrolling Instagram, to not be listening to a podcast, to not be doing anything, but just be present in the moment. You can also do basic things like turning on grayscale mode, turning off all notifications, using focus mode so people can't get in touch with you. Or if you want to take it a little bit more extreme, you can do a 7-day or a 30-day social media detox where you just get rid of everything, including YouTube and Instagram and everything else off of your phone. Fine, you can keep YouTube, but you can only watch educational stuff. For real though, whatever you gotta do to like reset yourself to get out of this loop so that you can really start to make progress in your life, and everything that comes into your life is hopefully like this and encouraging and making you feel better and helping you feel more motivated, and you get out all of that toxic crap that is on like Instagram and everywhere else, and you can focus on living in the real world and doing things that matter. Phones really eat up most of our lives. The average person spends 3 hours and 15 minutes on their phone every day, and they check their phone 58 times per day, which I honestly think it's way higher than that for a lot of people. There's actually a quote that I really like from the book, The Art of Focus. There doesn't seem to be a more worthwhile endeavor to dedicate your life to than to see what you are capable of. So I have a question that I'd like you to answer in the comments. Do you think you are doing everything you are capable of? Are you living up to your potential? I don't think I am. And to be honest, including right now, I don't think I'm living up to my potential. I don't think I'm giving life my best shot. And so I'm actively working to change that. As many of you might know, I have been obsessed with coffee for the past like 4 or 5 years. I always liked coffee, but then I was introduced to this idea of like Chemex's pour over coffee and actually caring about what the coffee tastes like. And ever since I started my channel, I have wanted to be sponsored by a coffee company, but I've never found one that I liked, so I've never done it. Till
Now, this is like a life dream of mine, guys. I have finally partnered with Trade Coffee because it's literally some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life. A lot of coffee that you get online can be cheap, it can be old, it can be kind of stale, it's questionably sourced. But Trade actually has a really wide variety of coffees from small batch roasters in the US. The coffee is roasted to order and it ships to you within 48 hours, which is like amazing. For real, if you want some high quality coffee, check out Trade. You can get it delivered. There's a bunch of different options depending on what you're into taste-wise. It's super fresh, super good. You can also get 30% off your first order when you subscribe. Use the link down below. Thank you so much, Trade, for sponsoring me. It's life-changing. All right, it's not exactly life-changing, it's coffee, but it's amazing. It's very good.
Consistency and starting strong. Consistency is really the key in any progress in your life. It all comes from these small, tiny changes done over a long period of time that really leads to a lot of success. When it comes to getting in shape, you could spend an entire week hitting the gym 5 hours a day and you're not really gonna see that much progress. But if you go consistently 3 times a week for a year or two, you're gonna see a ton of progress. It's really small, consistent habits like voting for yourself to be that person that you wanna be, done over a long period of time that will just transform your life without actually a ton of effort. So if you want to start this, pick one habit that you think you should be doing, you know would improve your life. You could do it if you set your mind to it, and just start that with the smallest possible step. Do it tomorrow. If you've been wanting to get in shape forever, put it into your schedule tomorrow. Go to the gym for 15 minutes to work out, to do 100 push-ups, whatever it is. Something that's attainable, it's not too hard, it's not gonna trash you. And if you can have this be something that you could do first thing in the morning, that really helps. Like, I love having in the morning, I read one page of a book, I have coffee, I have this little morning routine that I do, and I know that right from the get-go, I am starting my day off with a win. So what can that be for you? Make a financial plan. I know you can't change your finances like overnight, and doing this in a day doesn't always make tomorrow better, but for me, if I know what I'm doing with my finances, it makes it so much easier for me to follow through and then also be like encouraged in everything that I do, because I know that when I make coffee at home and I don't waste that $5 on a latte, the classic saving money thing, or I don't online shop, or I'm studying to learn a skill that will make me be able to earn more money in the future. When I add a little bit into my investment fund, if I know exactly why I am doing this, because if I follow these steps, I will reach financial freedom in 12 years or 15 years or 17 or 6 years. If you don't know how the decisions that you're making are impacting your financial future, you are guaranteeing yourself to never be that success story who got to retire early and do whatever they wanted and start that business and have freedom and travel and do all that stuff. It will almost guarantee never happen to you if you aren't trying for it, if you're not going in the right direction, if you don't have a plan of like, if I do this, this, and this, then I will be able to do this. Because I took time to actually build financial plans for myself. Last year we were able to travel for a month through Europe, something I never would have dreamed about being able to do. We were actually able to take multiple vacations. I've really taken time to set up my life and my business to the point that I can work just a few hours a day. Right now I could take a couple months or even a couple of years off and it wouldn't really affect my financial life, and that is such a stress reliever. It makes every day so much easier. So if you don't have a financial plan, it is well worth the investment of time or money or whatever it takes to really build that. If this is something that you want to do and you want like a step-by-step action plan for financial independence, even if you're deep in debt, you can check out WiseFi. There's a link down below. I also just got like kind of exclusive access to a 5-week course that they're doing, actually taught by the CEO of WiseFi, on how to create the like ultimate plan for financial independence. It's usually like $4.99, but if you use the link down below, it's actually only $149 and there's only 50 spots. So if that's something you're serious about, I think there's a really good investment. So there's a link below, check it out if you're interested. Go ahead and exercise. So this is not the clearest one, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how this has literally changed my life. I've been prone to like spells where I get depressed. It's probably not clinical depression, but like everybody gets these times where you're just like in a rut, you're feeling down on yourself, you're not liking a lot of the things you're doing, you just get gloomy, you don't have energy, and you're like, you're kind of depressed. And the one habit that has kind of kept me from going too deep down the rabbit hole over the past 10 plus years that I've struggled with this is exercise, staying in shape. When I'm angry, when I'm stressed out, when I've got too much going on with work, whatever it is, even when I don't feel like I have time to do more, I go to the gym consistently. I've been to the gym at least 3 times a week for the past, how old am I? 11 years? Like honestly, this has been the best thing I've ever done for my mental health. I feel more confident, I feel more healthy, I have more energy. And it's even like immediate where if I'm stressed out, if I'm not feeling great about today, if I go to the gym, especially if I do it first thing in the morning, then I already did something hard right off the get-go. I already worked on improving my life just for myself, not for anybody else. And I can push myself into doing something hard, because if I do something really hard right in the beginning of the day, it makes everything else in my day just feel easier. I don't know if that's just like a mental thing, it probably is, but when you continuously do hard things out of your own choice, nobody's making you do it, it makes all the other stuff which seemed hard before not really as hard. Those habits have changed my life. Hopefully they will help you as well. Subscribe and all that, and see you next Christmas.